Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to talk about how Audrey's character from Descendants makes no sense. And I also want to add, I've never read the books, so I'm solely basing my opinion on the movies alone. I'm going to give a brief summary on each Descendants movie, just in case your memory of the trilogy has become a little foggy. But anyways, Descendant 1 was about a prince named Ben who wanted to give villains' kids a chance at a happy normal life, so he picks the evilest ones for some odd reason. But the kids, Mal, Evie, Jay, and Carlos, are tasked by Maleficent to steal the fairy godmother's wand to break the barrier, and they have to and go through many trials and tribulations to retrieve the wand, mostly Mal. But along the way, there are many different things that connect them to Auradon, and they gained a good moral compass, and they decided to fight against Maleficent and stay on Auradon. And in Descendants 2, it's about how Mal is having trouble fitting in her princess role, so she runs away back to the Owl, thinking that's where she truly belongs, instead of talking about her problems. But her friends and Ben go after her. And there's this rivalry that's going on between Mal and Ursula's daughter, Uma. And they have this whole thing where Uma kidnaps Ben because she wants the wand. They stop her, gets Ben back and leave the Owl. But Uma was able to put Ben underneath the love spell. Mal was able to break it. They fight. And all wells ends wells. Except Uma was still on the loose. And in Descendants 3, Audrey takes Maleficent's staff and turns evil. So the gang has to stop her using Hades' Ember. And a little sing and dance, and Mal was able to get the Ember. And then Uma interjects herself into it for a reason I definitely can't remember. Sorry. But yeah, they work together, they have a big argument, they make up and work together again and stop Audrey. And by the end, they decide to reopen the barrier. Audrey in Descendants 1 is your typical rich, spoiled, bratty princess. And she wasn't a villain by any means, an antagonizing bully for sure, so she definitely could have got turned into a pumpkin until midnight because she was very annoying. And I think we're all on the same page here when I say she didn't deserve to be queen. Her attitude was rotten to the core. She was very judgmental and snobby, like she was even better than other Auradonians. And we do get a reason for that in Descendants 3, but for now, she was the main B with a side of itch. And I also find it funny how even Ben's parents didn't like her. Like, I really feel like that's how you really fumbled. The guy you're supposed to marry parents don't even like you. Now, I will say, Audrey was done wrong. I mean, the child of the woman who cursed her mother put her boyfriend under a love spell. And then Ben announced his love for Mal right in front of Audrey. And I don't think she ever knew that Mal put him under that spell, so she actually thought Ben just out of the blue dumped her and started dating Mal. And not only that, her friends and peers was jumping for joy and was so happy when Ben said he loves Mal now, right in front of Audrey's face. And I know for a fact Audrey felt embarrassed. There's no way she wasn't. And you can see she tried to cover it up by saying she was with Chad now, but I wasn't buying it. Because 1, Chad really isn't a prize in himself. His personality is really trash. And 2, she really just picked someone from the crowd and said, I guess I'll go with Ben's best friend. But wait, I'm not done with this. So not only does she get embarrassed in front of essentially the entire school, but she also gets embarrassed again without even knowing it. I'm going to take you guys down memory lane. Do you guys remember the date Mal and Ben went on to the lake? You know the lake that when you take a little swim in it, any spell or enchantment gets removed, including love spells? And by now, I'm pretty sure you know where I'm going with this. Ben not only knew he was under a love spell, he kept up with the act. Not even giving Audrey a, hey, I was under a love spell, I would never embarrass you in front of all these people. But no, we get nothing. And these two were supposed to be childhood friends. But I'm just going to chalk that up to bad writing. And what's even worse, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Do we all remember the scene after the big fight with Maleficent? Because I do. Audrey and Mal actually reconcile. They both bowed to each other, I guess, and I took it as they were ready to bury the hatchet. Audrey was ready to let go of all the bad blood, and this time they meant water under the bridge. And can I just say, although it was a crap apology, and they literally didn't even say anything to each other, no sorry I put your boyfriend under a love spell, and no sorry for being a mean girl, I didn't mind they made them make up. And plus, it did lead to a scene with Audrey and Jay dancing, so that was a positive. So by the end of Descendants 1, Audrey definitely doesn't hate the VKs anymore. And as we all know, Audrey wasn't in Descendants 2, and in my opinion, that was a big mistake on the writer's part, Because how are you going to have a character who you show making up with the people she's going to fight in Descendants 3? And not only that, you don't even show as to why she all of a sudden hates Mal again. And having her in Descendants 2 could have helped connect that. And she didn't even need a big role in Descendants 2. We just needed a scene to at least show why she hates Mal again. And please don't say it's because Mal was becoming queen, because she already knew Mal and Ben was still dating by Descendants 1. So I'm pretty sure she would know that an upgrade was going to happen in due time, seeing as it was supposed to happen to her. Now we're at the film where the character assassination happens. We first see Audrey when Ben proposes to Mal, and she just had to make it about herself, and she very loudly detests. And when she did that, honestly, I would have kicked her out. Then her grandma had the nerve to try and scold her, but yet she was definitely there when Audrey forgave Mal, but okay. And one thing that really didn't sit right with me is that how when Hades attacked the group, Audrey was screaming Mal can protect them. And I was thinking in my head, if a girl with magic that can turn into a dragon can't protect you, then what can you do, seeing that you're only human? But move past her being a hater, she gave the best performance out of everyone in Descendants 3. Queen of Mean will definitely go down in history. Too bad after that amazing performance, she had to become a hater again. And I noticed something. Audrey basically had the same story arc, with the only twist being she had access to magic this time around. Like, why at the end of Descendants 3 is Audrey and Mal essentially doing what they did in 1? It was pointless to bring her back. To close this off, Audrey was at her best in Descendants 1. She was the mean girl in the beginning, but grew out of it by the end. And truthfully, that's all that really needed to happen. I didn't need some terrible excuse as to why she didn't like Mal again. And that's why I really don't think her character makes sense to me.